Okay. We're live. We got about a couple 30 seconds left before we get to the show. But for everybody that's just coming in a little bit later, you're gonna have to wait about 20 seconds so that I can get the live going. Um, so when it hits 10 o'clock or 10:30 on the dot, we're gonna start. Yeah. All right, let me see if I can get the comments, get everything right. Live viewer setup, show. Okay. Start right on time. Okay, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy FRE $H Fresh at TheFlyBoyWay. That's TheFlyBoyway. Don't XY. Just check out the channel. And we are here with the financial portion of my channel. For all of those that don't know, my channel is basically about finance, family, and fun. And under fun, you know it's travel, you know it's events, you know it's all the good stuff that you say. Under family, you see my weekends with dad, and here and under the finance, you can see how I go about finance and everything. What it do? Earn money, Mr. International. What's going on, man? Listen. We're getting into it, and I'm going to start it off with this right here. Perfect way to start it off. You ready? Let me make sure the sound is on. 1 second, everybody. Here we go.
Don't look now, but there's something funny going on over there at the bank, George. I've never really seen one, but that's got all the earmarks of being a run.
Now, just remember that this thing isn't as black as it appeared. I have some news for you, folks. I was just talking to old man Potter, and he's guaranteed cash payments to the bank. The bank's going to reopen next week.
But, George, I got my money here. Did he guarantee this place?
Well, no, Charlie, I didn't even ask him. We don't need Potter over here.
And I'll take mine now.
No, but you're thinking of this place all wrong, as if I had the money back in a safe. The money's not here. Well, your money's in Joe's house. That's right next to yours. And in the Kennedy house, and Mrs. Maitland's house.
All right, so I started off with that right there because for those that don't know, back in the day, there was a crash, and during the crash, the Great Depression, a lot of the people went to the bank to get their money out, and when they went to the bank to get their money out, there was no money there. Everybody couldn't get their money out at the same time. So this is before the Federal Reserve was put into place, and because of this, the Federal Reserve was put into place. I think history, if it doesn't repeat itself, it has a funny way of rhyming or sounding the same. And right now, I think we're at that point where eventually it's going to get to that. Now, I'm not saying it's going to get to that in 1 year. I'm not saying that it's going to get to that in 2 years, but I'm saying it's going to get to that. So right now, what you should be trying to do is trying to set yourself up for a better future. Now, I know a lot of people are not working right now, so some of this stuff is going to have to apply to you once you get back on your job. And a lot of people, they haven't really research on a lot of stuff on how to invest. Now, the one thing that I say about retirement, because this whole thing is about retirement, the one thing I say about retirement is that a lot of people go about thinking on how to retire the wrong way. This is all my opinion. Let me start off with saying I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just giving you my opinion. This is for entertainment or whatever you got to say, the disclaimer. I even wore my tie today because, I wanted I wanted to look a little businessy, so I wore my tie today for those that's in the chat room. Like I said, but back in the day, a lot of people lost out because the banks had all their money and they didn't want it. They couldn't give it back. So, I'm not saying that that's exactly going to happen, but I think something similar is going to happen. Lately, they've just given us $1,200 at least during the Financial Cares Act. They also made it available for you if you have a 401k to take your money out of the 401k. Now, the reason why I mention this is because the only way, people believe that in your retirement, you can save enough money or invest enough money to retire and live a good life. But I want to show you some things first. First, let's start with the definition of retirement. All right. The retirement definition is the action or fact of leaving one's job and ceasing work. Now, for all those that don't know, the retirement age in the United States of America is 65. At that point, you can get all full benefits. Yes, you can retire before the age of 65 at half your benefits or maybe a fraction of your benefits, but I believe it's 65 and you get all your benefits. But here's the thing. The life expectancy for the average United States citizen is only about 72 to 75. Let me give you some good pointers real quick. Let me give you some proof because I like saying stuff, but I'd rather show you stuff online because that kind of like goes along with it. Let me see. It's CDC. All right, this is the CDC. Now mind you, this is from 2017, 2016. So it's not going to vary as much, maybe get a little bit less. But let's go from here. Let's just say 2015. If you're looking at where I put the marker at, in 2015, right? The average life expectancy for both sexes of all races was 78 and 76. So you're telling me that if I retire after working 20 to 30 to 40 years, I only have a minimum of 13 years to enjoy my life. So you're telling me that I've worked from 18, some people, let's just say from 21, I've worked until 65, and I only get 13 years to enjoy that. But wait, there's more. If you are a African American or black male, your life expectancy is only 75. So now you're talking about 10 years to enjoy your 50 or 40 or 30 or 60 years worth of work. That's something for me. That's something wrong about that. I shout out to Earn Money. He said he's retired from the Navy. He's retired from the Navy, and in 2 years he will retire as a school teacher, and he's only 43. That's amazing. That's amazing. See, one thing is that if you go into armed services, or if you go into the military, or if you go into your certain like cops or something like that, you can retire. Like even the police force, you can retire after 25 years. But the thing about that is that you still got to wait to 65 to get the full benefits, I believe. If I'm wrong, you can correct me, but you still got to wait to 65 to get the benefits. So we got here. I think the U.S. economy will be in trouble if the dollar is not the world's currency reserve. That is 100%. That is 100% correct, which some money and men are predicting. But the only issue I think with that one is I think that the U.S. has got to be the world reserve because all of the other countries are putting the money into it. But that still doesn't mean that it's not going to separate the wealth gap in the U.S. See, that's what people kind of get misconstrued. They understand that the United States is the currency for the world that everybody trades in, and that's hard to change. It's very hard to change. But what they don't understand is that the wealth gap in the United States and it's not about color. And I try to tell everybody this: it's not black, white, Spanish. It doesn't matter. It's going to always be rich and poor. People say middle class, but eventually that middle class is going to go more towards the poor, and it's just going to be rich and poor. And it's just something that you have to set up. Now, the reason why I did this whole podcast right here, even though I figured I probably wouldn't get that many people watching, was that I was going into listening to the whole CARES Act thing, and they told me that I could take out of my 401k. Now, if you believe in the stock market, this could be yours. This could be your opinion. If you believe that with everything that we're going through with the coronavirus, with the oil prices, and just like I said, everybody thinks it's just the coronavirus, but that's just the needle that popped the bubble. There's so many other economical things incorrect or wrong with the way the American economy is set up right now, and the way the American health system is set up right now, and the way that pensions are set up right now. It's so much stuff wrong that this could be the trigger that started the downfall, that we might not go below anybody, and we might still have the American currency, but this could be the downfall of the middle class. I'm not saying that it's going to ruin America, because you still might have more money as an American or United States citizen than other countries, but this economic crash is focused on the downfall of the middle class. Hold up. Somebody asked me, what's my thoughts on crypto? I think crypto will take too long to build up as the world currency. And the only way that crypto would be a world currency is if the United States dollar flew out of the world currency. But because everyone around the world has a piece, like all rich investors from all around the world, I don't care if you're from Russia or you're from China or you're from Ecuador or you're from Peru or anywhere in the world, they have stake in the United States. And they probably have a greater profit gain from the United States than anywhere in the world. So they don't want to see the dollar go down, no matter if the Fed keeps cranking that wheel and making the money come down. They don't want to see the American come down. So it's going to be hard to see cryptocurrency outtake the US dollar. Let me say, in the military at 17. No, not military. Start time in the military at 17. No, not in the military. It's start time when you retire from both. Okay, that's pretty cool. If you went the military route, that's a great way if you're not in the military still, because right now, and even with that route though, you have to still understand that the military pension is tied up with the government. So if the government and stocks crash, then that military pension may also get a little bit, not as guaranteed as people think. And that's another reason, like I said, I try to keep going back to the fact that I took the money out of my 401k, and I'm going to tell you why. When it comes to retirement, which I was trying to say before, let me see. Let's get to the average. Let's get to the average income of the United States citizen. Okay, so if you look at this right here, the average income of a 65-year-old, which is the age at which you retire, is about $47,000 annually. You got 10 years to after you're 65 before you can before your life expectancy is over. You have 10 years after 65 before your life expectancy is over. So if you're telling me that you make $47,000 a year, that means you have to survive on approximately maybe like $35,000 a year after 65 for 10 years. But $35,000 a year, what you've saved to 65 on average, that person's has saved at 65 has saved $60,000 on average. So $60,000 is not going to last you 10 years in the United States. It's just not. And that way you're gonna have to cut back on a lot of stuff. Hold on, I'm pausing because I'm reading a lot of stuff that people were saying on the side. So what you want to do is you want to try to focus on finding a way to lower what you use money on. And the best way to do that is to invest in real estate. The reason why I say the best way to do that is invest in real estate is because real estate pays you no matter what. Even in a situation now where there's not a lot of tenants paying rent and there's not a lot of people that's going through stuff like that, eventually that has to come due. That rent comes due. Eventually it comes due. And if you don't have that constant stream of income, then it's going to be bad for you. But what you can also do is you can also live where you rent. Now, if you live where you rent, you've already deducted the biggest expense that you're going to have after retirement, because the biggest expense that you have after retirement is to have a roof over your head. So if you're deducting that expense, you're talking about saving $1,000 a month at least. You're saving $1,000 a month. Now, a lot of people, they say, oh no, but I can invest in stocks and the stocks will pay me. But there's no guarantee that when you retire, the stock market will be still high enough for you to really get what you want, what you need to what's the name, do it. Yeah, I'm gonna get into travel. I'm getting to travel in a second, but let's go to Roy. What were we saying? Wait, hold a second. Wow, that's a lot of people. Travel Squad, what's up, man? All right, what's good? I think they just stopped that retirement from the military after 20 years. Yeah, I don't think they stopped it altogether. I think that they moved it to 25 because at one point I was going to join the police force, and when I got to orientation, they told me that it's no longer 20 years. You got to do the whole 25 years. And at that point, I was like, no, I don't want to. That 5 year makes a difference because then I'm going to be in my 50s when I retire. And I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. But I would definitely check on that. I invested in real estate, 3 homes and land in Alabama, which is good. See, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm going to, and later on in this, like a little bit later on, because this is only going to be like a 30-minute podcast, well, 30-minute series, but later on, I'm going to tell you about some investing international things that's also. but owning 3 homes and land in Alabama is definitely good, as long as they are income producing properties. Because just a house is not going to work for you. But if you have a house that you can have tenants in, it's going to help you set you right. You seem to be saying keep your assets like property and don't sell because the cash will be lost if you put it in the bank. Okay, now it's not as much as cash being lost as much as inflation eventually is going to happen. I mean, it might not happen for another 2 years because they keep cranking that money, but inflation is eventually going to happen. And if you're not investing in stuff right now, like and through this whole thing, I mean, maybe not right now, but when you get a good deal, if you're not changing that cash into an investment like real estate, like some people say gold, but I'm not really wise on gold, but I do know real estate works. If you're not turning your cash into real estate, no matter how much you stack, by the end of this whole situation that we're going on now, that cash is not going to have the same spending power as if you invested in something that can move. All right, now let's touch on what at travel and retirement at 20 years. Oh, that's you have to be military. Oh, so now it's moved from 20 to 30 years. Okay, you see, it's going to keep going up, and the next is going to be 40 years, and the next is going to be 35 years, and that's going to keep going up. So, like I said, if you're in the military now and you got the retirement in 20 years, that's amazing. Or the police force, or I don't know if the teachers have the same thing, but that's amazing. But it's just not a something you could bank on. But let's go to how I plan on doing it. Now, currently, I live in New Jersey, and I own 2 properties. My properties right now are both cash flowing, and I have a loan on them, but the cash flow covers the loan and gives me a little bit extra. But I'm also able to live in one of my properties. I'm working on buying my 3rd property in the States. But after I buy my 3rd property in the States, which I'm waiting, I kind of believe that the market right now is going to stay stable, but I feel as though there will be more opportunities to buy a deal because of the fact that everyone can qualify. You see, I have an essential job. I work for FedEx, so I have an essential job that can prove I have a steady income. There's a lot of people who might normally, with their career and with their money, be able to get a place. But right now, in this little bit of time, they're not able to go buy anything. So the house supply that was already low is still low, but the buyers out there are decreasing because people are losing their job and they're not able to qualify. So I don't know how long that's going to last, but I know within that space is an opportunity to buy a wedge deal. Now, for those that don't know what a wedge deal is, it's purchasing a house for less than what it's worth. You can't really do that in stocks. You can't really do that in bonds. But for houses, you can purchase it at a price that's lower than what it's worth. And if you do that, that middle part between that is all your equity. That's your equity. Or you could purchase a house that's that needs repair. And there are going to be a whole bunch of them. What's going on, Charlie Boy TV? What's up, man? But yeah, so the whole thing, what you want to do right now is, I suggest, this is my opinion. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you want to go for one, you should. If you have a 401k right now, or you have an IRA, you are allowed to take a hardship withdrawal out for financial troubles. I have some financial troubles, but you should have some financial troubles and take the money out so that you can then be ready to invest and buy property when you can. The reason why, like I said, you want to do this is because that the number one expense after retirement is rent or wherever you live. So if you get a property where you can live rent free, well, you're gonna save $1,000 to $1,500 a month, and in that money you can do whatever you want. Now, here's the second part of that, because we're almost at 20 minutes. It's probably not gonna last more than 30. The second part of that is purchasing property internationally. Now, I can't tell you all the details because I'm still walking through it. I know how to open a bank account, but I'm also thinking about going the business route, which means opening a business over there as far as a business account and using my business account to purchase the property overseas in Colombia. Now, when I first decided to do it in Barranquilla. And the reason why I decided to do it in Barranquilla is because Barranquilla is an amazing place and relaxing place to live. And I don't plan on living there all my whole time. I plan on going back and forth New Jersey to Columbia, because when it's cold, I want to live in Columbia. When it's hot, I want to live in New Jersey. And both places, I want to live rent free. So I want to own property in both places. And the way I'm going to do that is by taking money out of my 401k to go and purchase this property in Columbia and purchase this last home in New Jersey. And what you want to looking at this thing after retirement. We're going to get to DR too. But what you want to do is you want to try to get something that, one, has security, two, is an apartment and has a housing association that's not too crazy, and three, you want to get something in the top areas. You don't want to go over there in another country and buy a apartment in a cheap area. You want to buy an apartment in a great area. And I'm going to show you two places that I have found on the places that my the lawyer that I'm working with helped me find on the website. So stick tight. Let me go here to this one so I can show you these two places. All right. First one I'm gonna show you is in Barranquilla. Now, originally I was definitely going to buy a house in Barranquilla, and it's still on the top of my list. But because of what happened now with COVID and all of the clubs closing down and all of the countries like in having a hard time, it is becoming more possible, if you want to buy a house or buy an apartment in a great section of Medellin or Cartagena, where are the top two cities where you get the more bang for your buck in Colombia. It's becoming more possible because of the fact that if there's no tourism, these cities having a property in these cities, you're going to take a big hit. And here's the thing. They'll be more willing to sell it to you at a beneficial at a lower price, because the president is saying not until maybe 2021 or 2022 or 2021 or 2022 before the bars and everything get back. So people are like, they're going to be trying to get out of their situation in Colombia. They're going to be trying to get out of the situation in Costa Rica. All the investors who basically invest around the tourist areas, they're going to be trying to sell, especially the older ones, because of the fact that they're looking at maybe a year or 2 years without steady income coming to their Airbnbs, coming to their businesses in the area. But this is a time that you guys can invest. Now let's go and let me show you this right here. All right, this place right here. Now the place you're looking at on the screen right now is in Barranquilla, is in the Alto Prado section. Now the Alto Prado section is the 6 estradas of Barranquilla. Now Barranquilla is divided into estradas, which is different sections, and the higher the section, the better it is. 6 is the highest there is. Now this price is $218,000, which I believe is something like 53, but let me double check. Hold on. 218 million Colombian pesos.
218 million Colombian pesos equals $55,966.49.
Okay, so now mind you, the price that you see on these websites is just a starting price. Remember, in Colombia and in other Latin countries, the first price, no matter what it is, the first price they tell you is never the correct price. You always negotiate, and they're going to start off with a high price. So this right here is about $55,000. Now I've been saving in my 401k for about 13 years. So I'm not all the way there, but I can make it work. You know what I mean? If I budget it down. But this is in the 6 estrada of Barranquilla, and I'm showing people now because I think that everybody's not going to take the steps to go pursue it. So I feel as though I can show people things that I'm really interested in getting. Now this is a 1-bedroom, and like I said, the 6 estrada of Barranquilla. It has a nice little balcony right here, and that's the view. That's the view of the city. Now it's not as big because it's only 34 meters. But it's a decent place. The way I see it, it's a decent place that I can see to retire and live for 5 months out of the year when it's cold over here in New Jersey. Oh, let me go to some of your questions real quick. All right, let's go to after, because I don't want to forget about the after retirement in DR. Okay, so Earn Money says after retirement, buy property in DR 2 homes, rent the 3rd home to live in. See, that's pretty good. I like that. I like that. Earn money. I'm going with the 3 homes because I got kids. So I want my kids to go to school in the best area, which is Montclair. If you see some of my other videos, you'll see me trying to buy a place in Montclair. So I want my kids to go to school in Montclair, which is New Jersey, which is a great place, and they can network with people who make billions and millions of dollars. But yeah, the 2 homes and then a big the 3rd home like in DR or something is great. What do you say? 6 months US, 6 months DR. That's pretty cool. Like I'm doing 7 months US, 5 months Barranquilla or 5 months Colombia. I don't want to say Barranquilla yet because we're gonna get to Cartagena and how much the prices is dropping in Cartagena because the tourism is going for at least a year or 2. Travel Squad says they altered the retirement plan in 2018 for new troops. So okay, go. That's cool. That's cool. Let's go around. So Selection, what's going on, man? Here's the thing. No, I didn't pull the trigger on the purchase yet because I had originally not planned on purchasing it for another 2 years. I had a 3-year plan because I was going to borrow money from my 401k once I paid the first loan off, which I was going to pay off by next year. I was going to borrow money a year later from the 401k to go buy the property. But with the new CARES Act that Donald Trump put into office, I now can take the money out of my account that I had left over that I couldn't touch until I paid this other half off, and then go use it and only have to pay the taxes. There's no penalty of me taking it out early. There's just the taxes I have to pay, which is ridiculously crazy that I can do this and many other people can do this. Because with the money, the reason why I'm doing this is because taking this money out now and going to buy a property during this hardship times that everybody's going through is going to save me a lot more money than waiting until everything is over and trying to get it when everybody's already back to normal. So I didn't pull the purchase, but I pulled the trigger on getting the lawyer and starting the transaction to set it up right. He said for new troops. Okay, so you guys, okay, all right, cool. But let's go back to this Barranquilla property. So like I said, 55,000, which means that honestly, you can probably talk them down to about 48,000. And then after you pay all your fees and stuff, it may come back up to 50,000. So for $50,000, now here's the thing: for $50,000, you now own a property in Colombia and Barranquilla. Now here's the thing, because I've done the research on this one and on another property, and between homeowners association, management, because you're going to want somebody to manage it when you're not there, and they're going to run an Airbnb, cleaning, and I guess cleaning and something and tax and property taxes, your entire amount of money you're going to spend. Now follow me here. The entire amount of money you're going to spend to keep this property in Colombia and Barranquilla at least is $2,000 a year. No, not $2,000 a month. $2,000 a year to manage, pay for your homeowners association fees, pay for your property tax, and I forgot the other thing already. And all of that is just $2,000 a year. That's almost what people pay in a month. Now, mind you, you're gonna be running. You don't have to, because $2,000 a year is not really a big thing if you have properties in the States. But you're going to be still running your Airbnb when you're not there. So if you're not there for, like, let's say, let's make it even. Let's say you're there for 6 years, because you can only stay 6 months without a visa. Let's say you're there for 6 months and you're in the States for 6 months. Those 6 months that you rent with the Airbnb, well, let's say maybe 6 months you make $100 a month, which is probably way less than what you could. But if you make $100 a month, then you only have to come and pay $14. If you make $1,000 in those 6 months, then you only have to make $1,000. What's the name? Or if you make $2,000 in them 6 months, then you don't have to pay anything to keep this place after you pay this $50,000. And that's what people don't understand. You see, in the States, my house that I'm in right now is running me $7,000 property tax alone. Now I don't have a homeowners association fee. I still got to pay, other bills and stuff, but $7,000 a year alone just on property taxes in the States. So you have to understand, when you buy property overseas, you now have somewhere you can go if everything falls to hell over here. Let's say we're going to have other pandemics. People think that this is going to be the end all, or they're going to get over it and it's not going to happen again. No, there's going to be a lot more pandemics like the coronavirus. There's going to be a lot more pandemics like H1N1 or H1N1 or the Spanish flu. It's a repeating cycle. Like I said, history, if it doesn't repeat itself, it runs on a similar path. So the best way to do that, to get through that, is to be able to have options. Like I tell everybody on my channel is about balance, and with balance comes options. Yeah, with options comes balance. If you could have chose, follow me, everybody. If you could have chose, and you knew that this pandemic was coming, and you had a property in Colombia, and you had a property in the DR, and you had a property in the United States, don't you think that's a better option than to only have all your cookies in one bag, which is the United States? See, the reason why these the reason why a lot of older folks don't really have the same mentality is because the older folks didn't travel as much as us millennials and the ones before and our parents before us. A lot of them boomers, they didn't really travel like this, so they didn't know this was possible. But we all know it's possible. We know that you can go over to another country. If not Colombia, you can go over to Costa Rica. If not Costa Rica, Mexico. You can go over to Jamaica. You can go over to DR, and you can live like a king on a peasant salary. You can live like a king on a peasant salary, and people don't know that. You see, knowledge is power. That's why I show my travel so much, because the more people that know, the more better decisions you can make, the less stress you can have, and the more powerful it is. I'm going to question. In the DR, you can buy land and never. Wow. See, I like this. See, I like this right here, that you never have to pay property tax. The only reason why personally, I like Colombia better also, but the only reason why I would still lean more towards Colombia than the DR is because the DR is an island. At the end of the day, the DR is an island, and living on an island, you basically have to go with whatever goes with there. There's no, if they want to just tell everybody to stay inside, you got to go along with that. And it is an island that you don't originate from. It can go sour, and I don't, not to say that it doesn't have to. If you have other properties around the other place, like one in the United States, one in Colombia, one in Brazil, or something like that, then you can just, if it becomes too crazy, you can just move along. But as far as the DR, I don't know if I would try to like invest, depending on how much it costs, depending on what kind of area it is. I don't know if I would invest in solely just that in the United States. Maybe as a third option, yeah. Michael Coleman, what's going on? Yeah, Thailand is actually great too. Thailand could be a great place to invest if you're comfortable with being that far away from the United States. Now, I haven't been to Thailand yet, and this COVID situation here messed me up from going to Thailand, because I was supposed to be going to Tokyo, and I booked my flight already. Luckily, I didn't book my Airbnb, but I booked my flight already for Tokyo for the Olympics, and they moved the Olympics to next year, which messes up my Thailand trip, because I was supposed to be going to Thailand next year. But Thailand is a least expensive place than both Colombia and Dominican Republic, and you get more bang for your buck to do stuff. The issue, like I said, with Thailand is it's about a 24-hour distance flight, or 2 12-hour flights away from the United States, which if something goes sour, I always want to be able to get back to the United States within 7 hours at maximum, because from New York to California is 7 to 8 hours. So that's the most amount of time that I want to be from the United States, just in case something goes wrong. But yeah, Thailand is definitely great. It's also good to buy in your 30s. By the time you retire, your house is paid off. Yeah, see, the thing is this. A lot of people are trying to rush to get rich. I don't believe that's the best option, because I believe that you really need to enjoy your from 18 to 30. I think you need to enjoy that time, because your body, your mental, and your ability to move around won't ever be the same again. Everybody says, oh yeah, well, I'm in shape at 30. Well, I'm in shape at 40. I can do anything. Not really. Like, you could be in the best shape in the world. Your experience at 20 and your experience at 30 is going to be different. Like, I started traveling when I was 18. I started traveling internationally when I was 24. So I still got to understand how it is and in my prime to really go out there and have fun. Now when I'm 35, in my 30s, the feeling ain't the same. Like I've been to Dominican Republic when I was 24, and then I've been to Dominican Republic when I was 34. So, and I noticed a big difference. Even my body is a big difference. You know what I mean? Earn Money says he can't do Thailand. Not as far as living. Not as far as living. DJ Chisel, what's going on, man? You can't. You can. I seen a video where it says you can't own property. You can't buy property from a Thailand resident if you're not. I don't know how true this still is because I seen a video like years ago. You can't buy property from a Thailand person. But if there's an investor, a foreign investor in Thailand who wants to sell you another foreign investor their property, you can change that. You can exchange that. You can buy that property from the foreign investor. It's kind of almost the same way as it is in Cuba, where you can buy from an investor, but a regular person from the United States cannot go buy a apartment or a house in Cuba. And a regular person in the United States cannot just go buy a house for from Thailand. I'm thinking that. Houses already paid off. Well, here's the thing. I personally, in my houses, I think you're talking about DR, but I'm going to branch into the United States also. In the United States, I don't think it's best to pay your house off. I think it's better to make sure you have the 3 houses, because really 4 places. You can have 3 or 4. After 4 places under your own social security number, they're not going to really let you get any more places, but up to 4 places they'll let you get without giving you a big hassle of opening a business and doing all this other stuff. But here's the thing. 4 places you can pretty much manage yourself. After 4 places, you're going to have to look into getting a management company and doing all this, and then it becomes a job. And retirement is the form of ceasing a job. It needs to be more passive. And even though you have to do some things, you're not like hands-on touching anything. You're not running and doing all this stuff. You're calling somebody to do it. So yeah, I would say, rather than paying your houses off in the States. Now, in the DR and in Colombia and overseas, you got to pay the place off. You got to pay the place off. But in the States, it would be better for you to, if you got $100,000, rather than paying $100,000 and buying a house straight out, it's better for you to do 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, and 40,000 or something to get 4 different houses so that they can produce income for you. You know what I mean? Let me show you some more of this place. Now, like I said from before, I was originally going to it's got a rooftop. It's real dope. I wouldn't get anything that doesn't have, in Barranquilla, I wouldn't buy any property that doesn't have access to a gym and a pool. The reason why is because Barranquilla is not by the beach. So it's about an hour away from the beach, but it's not by the beach. So you're going to want to have a pool where you stay, and you're going to want to have a gym where you stay. And this pool is on the rooftop and is in the best area. So this is the place that I'm really looking at. I'm looking at getting. Like you said, it all depends on how much this Montclair house cost me. But this is the place that I'm thinking about getting. Real nice. And then gym right there. Now, what did you say? You need a Thai wife or a partner. Oh yeah. See, the issue I have with that is that when you are planning financially to do something, when you get married, you then have to hope that the other person, or even if you sign a prenup or something, you have to hope that the other person doesn't try to basically mooch off of what you worked hard for. You know what I mean? Especially if you want to, you still want to be single, but you just want to get married for that. You want to make sure that you don't get jammed up by the other person. Because I actually know some people who went and they wanted to be slick and get a house, get married in the DR so they can get some kind of residency or something. And then they had property over here in the States. And when they got married in the DR, they got the residency, and then the wife seen that the person had all this other stuff in the States and then divorced the person. And then because the DR and the United States is so close, she got a piece of all of his property in the States. And I was like, yo, that's cold. I can't even risk that happening. It's not worth it. It's not even worth happening, worth risking it. So yeah, I would be cautious about getting married for that purpose. If you do own property, if you don't own anything yet, then hey, yeah, why not get married and make the most of that? Go out and buy something. But if you do, yeah, I would really look towards asking a lawyer about that stuff. But like I said, when I first started looking for my property overseas, I went to Barranquilla because I've been to Barranquilla twice, and even though I went during the party time, I seen how calm and relaxed it was outside, and I seen how it was a place that I could actually go and just really enjoy. And I also seen how less expensive it is than Cartagena. But now here it is. I said it earlier. Because of COVID-19 and because of the mass lockdown around the world, Cartagena has been shut off about 80 to 90% of the income it gets. 80 to 90% of the income. The factories done closed down. The people are not really. They're just being again. I think a couple of my friends. They're just being again allowed to sell like little vendors on the street, and then everything as far as the clock tower, everything as far as the four major cities, everything as far as the nightlife activities is shut down. That city thrives on tourist activities. If you don't, most of the, I don't know the numbers, so I'm going to say most of the economic money that comes to most of the economy is based on tourist activities, because they get not just tourists from outside of Colombia, but they get tourists from Colombia that go there a lot. So guess what? Without that, it lowers the value of your property. And I found a place in Cartagena that ended up being 240 mil. Now, for those that don't know, 218 mil was 55,000. I believe 240 mil is 60 something. But let's Google it and find out the exact amount. 240 million Colombian pesos.
240 million Colombian pesos equals $61,598.16.
$61,000 and $61,000. Hey Tia, what's going on? And 98 cents. Remember, the same way it is in other things in Dominican, in other things, other countries like Latin countries, the first price is never the price. I don't know how many times I can tell everybody that the first price is never the price. So even though this says $61,598, you have to think this: with everything that's going down, I'm going to show you some pictures while I do this. With everything going down, and with the lockdown and everything, you gotta say between 10 and 15% of this is coming off. Like 10 to 15% of this is going to be taken off within a year. I'm gonna give it taken, not even a year, by the end of this year or beginning of 2021, 10 to 15% of this price is going to be lowered. This is going to be probably the only opportunity in our lifetime that you're going to get a property in Cartagena or Medellin at a lower price than people have been paying for the last 30 years. For those that don't know, if you want a place in Medellin or Cartagena, honestly, you're going to averagely be paying $100,000. If you get it in Parque Yeres or around Parque Yeres or Laureles, you're going to still be paying $140,000 for a place. And this is an apartment, maybe a 2-bedroom apartment for $140,000. But right now, maybe not right now, maybe you want to wait like 3-4 months. But after about September, October, if you really want to get a property overseas, that I believe is going to be the best time to get a property anywhere overseas, because by that time the economy will have finally caught up with the stock market. The amount of people that's going to be trying to just get out of the situation, because the nightlife is not going to be the same. They're not pulling up income in. Tourists ain't traveling these places. People are not flying. This will be your only opportunity in lifetime to really go overseas and get something that's way more than what you need, what you pay for. Like I said, this place right here is like I said, I'm showing you guys places that I'm hopefully going to get. Now I'm still waiting for some money to come through before I can bust this move. But and I'm waiting for a place in Montclair because I definitely think I definitely know I need to get that third house in New Jersey first to solidify my kids going to school in Montclair, which is a great area, before I treat myself or use my retirement to secure my retirement with an apartment overseas. Because once I get an apartment overseas, it doesn't matter if in Colombia, once I get an apartment in Colombia, it doesn't matter if I have no money in the stock market. It doesn't matter if I'm not working at all. You know why? Because the money that you make from the property in the States, you can then take that money, not even all the money, just half the money, and live in Colombia like a king and not have to pay nothing. And anybody that's been in Colombia know you can travel throughout the whole Colombia for $60 round trip. Anybody knows that you can spend maybe $100, $200 a month living like a king anywhere. And if you have a roof over your head that you have to pay, listen. And this view was amazing. This is the view from the balcony, and this is in Boca Grande. This is where I stayed. This is not the apartment I stayed in, but this is the area I stayed in when I went to Cartagena. If you see my Cartagena videos, this is Boca Grande, and this place is called El Laguito. And it's an amazing area. It's an amazing area. It's right outside of the 4 major cities, and it's only 10 minutes away from the clock tower in the downtown area. So yeah, it's definitely live. Let me get to some of these questions and some of the things. Fly, what Colombian city did I like the most? Cartagena? No, Cartagena I had probably outside of Barranquilla Carnival, Cartagena is probably, I haven't been to Medellin yet. Been to Bogota, but I was only there for a couple hours, so I can't really speak too much to it. And I haven't been to Medellin yet. But I would think Cartagena is probably like, if outside of Carnival Barranquilla, Cartagena is the city where I have the most parties and fun. It's so much stuff to do. Like I can go cook food. I can go to a chocolate thing. I can go to a wine tasting. It's so much stuff to do. Barranquilla doesn't really have all that stuff to do. But I also like the fact that Barranquilla is chill. So for me, Barranquilla would be the city I like the most because it has the carnival time where it's live. But most of the time, I just want to chill. I like just being in the house, have maybe like a friend over, or playing video games. I'm still 35. Or like, and looking online and find something to do, like, and how can I make money on my YouTube channel and all that stuff. Like, so for me, Barranquilla. And I haven't been to Medellin yet, but I can't see Medellin topping Barranquilla. Penny stock investor, what's going on? What's going on? I'm doing amazing, Tia. I'm doing amazing. Just trying to plan out this financial retirement because this is the new form of retirement. Like I said, a lot of the older people don't know about this because they don't travel. You know what I mean? And as a millennial who's been traveling for over 35, for over 25 years, like no, it's not my fault. For over 15 years, like I know what the world has to offer. You know what I mean? I know how much more is out there. Black Phoenix, what's going on? What's going on, Black Phoenix? The Flyboy, hey, don't ask. Hi, Third Mundo. Que lo que? What's up, bro? Let's see. Yeah, but here's the thing. You can invest in stock market. Let's go back to the stock market. Right now, the stock market is going up and down with Karan, what's going on, bro? Hey, Karan, what's up, man? Now the way that the stock market is, where it's going up and down, I'm not a gambler. So maybe some people that are gamblers, they can see their chances and they're cool with risking it. But I'm not a big gambler. I like consistency. I'm like the turtle in the race with the turtle in the hair. I'd rather build slow and get to the end when I get to the end. And if I'm the leader at the end, it's cool. But I got to the end and I didn't take no tumbles. The stock market, we don't know if it's going to go up and we don't know if it's going to go down. Warren Buffett just sold all of his airline stock. He sold all of his airline stock. And Warren Buffett has a saying where he's like, don't sell nothing, keep everything. That's his saying. His saying is keep everything, don't sell anything, just wait it out because the economy is going to be better. But then you turn around and you sell stuff, which means that you might know something that maybe we don't know. He's probably privy to some knowledge that we don't know in the stock market that's going to happen. And the thing is that's how it gets us, because there's a lot of us suckers that say, you know what? Oh, the stock market is booming. Let me go invest in Webull. Let me go invest in Red Robin or whatever that's called, that trading app. and then they go and they speculate and they speculate and they speculate, and then it's like whoever's still stuck with the music, whoever's still stuck standing when the music is gone, that's your fault. You done. I worked too hard to lose all my investment. Now, don't get me wrong. This last 10 years of this bull market that we had before this situation here, it treated me good. My 401k went all the way up. But it's a song. I don't know if you guys know. It's like know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And I think right now I'm going to fold my hand and say, you know what? I'm going to walk away because I don't gamble. I take calculated steps. And if I done made this much money in these last 10 years, and now we're going through ups and downs, I'm not here to play that game. Give me the money, take the little hit. Even if I got to take a little hit, give me the money off the top. Let me go take that money, invest in something that I know is stable. Real estate. Real estate, the price has crashed. It has gone up and down. But if you have cash flowing rental properties, that has never changed. If you buy right and you have a property that's making you $700 a month at least, after everything is paid, that doesn't change. No matter if there's a market crash, doesn't change if the property value go down. It doesn't change for nothing, for none of that reason. So yes, I'm going to take all the money I was luckily able to make in this bull market, and I'm going to say thank you. Thank you. I still believe in America, but I don't believe in the stock market. So I'm going to take this money out of the stock market and I'm going to put it in real estate where it's more safer, where my money can grow. If property goes up and goes down, maybe I'll be able to take some out with a cash out refinance. But in the meantime, I'll be collecting rent. I'll be collecting what's the name, and that's where I think everyone should be. I think right now we really need, if you have a 401k, and here's the reason why I'm telling everybody now, because the CARES Act says that you have until December 31st to take a hardship withdrawal out your 401k. Now, here's the thing. If you don't take a hardship withdrawal as soon as possible, there could be a chance where too many people, like in this example I gave you on this video, let me see if I still got the video. And it's wonderful. Like, if you see this video right here.
Some news for you, folks. I just talking to old man Potter, and he's guaranteed cash payments to the bank. The bank's going to reopen next week.
But George, I got my money here.
Like I said, just like in the old depression, there could be a point where they say, you know what? Too many people are taking out of their 401k because it's all in the stocks, and stocks are dropping. So we need to stop everybody from taking the money out of their 401k, because if they keep taking it out, the stock market is going to go broke. And that means that the older folks that's retiring right now ain't going to have no pension, because their pensions and the hedge funds that run their pensions are in the stock market. So there could be a point where they, even though they gave it to December 31st to take the money out of the 401k to for hardship, there could be a point where they say, you know what? Nobody else. The money is gone. Hey, we can't do nothing. You got to leave it in there. And then you stuck just watching your money go down if the stock market does go down. You know what I mean? Or people start pulling their money out. But I don't want to risk that. It's okay. I'll take the money out. I'll put it in my money market account. I don't have to make a lot of money off of it, but I'm ready to take that money out and invest it as soon as I find the right property to invest in. And that's where I feel as though everybody should be, because right now it's too much uncertainty. And at the point where the man who says he doesn't sell anything, Warren Buffett says, I don't sell anything. I keep and I buy low and I buy low. I don't sell anything. And he sold all of his airline stock. You got to take it. And you got to believe that it's some knowledge he's privy to that we're not privy to as regular Americans. So you could take that with a grain of salt or whatever you want to do. But let me go back to, I got a lot of questions. Hold on a second. Hussein, what's going on, bro? Man, I'm just giving people my honest opinion, man. And I'm not even giving you my opinion and not following my opinion. I'm doing what I said I'm doing, bro. I'm taking that money out and I'm going to put it in the bank until I can find the right house to invest in, because I don't believe in the stock market. I believe in America. I believe that we will always be the superpower we are. I believe that the countries around the world, their stocks and everything and everything they got going is going so bad that they're putting all their money in America, and America's going to always be on top. But I do believe that this economic depression we're going to go to, maybe the recession or depression, whatever one it is going to really do the biggest damage of all time to the separation of the people who are wealthy and the people who are poor. And if you're in the middle class, you're poor. There is no middle class. We just think we are. There's no middle class. There's always been, and it's always going to be rich and poor. So you can either sit in and follow what they say, don't invest, just leave the money in there and maybe watch your money go down till you hit the poor, or you can take a stand and say, hey, I'm taking my stuff out. I'm gonna invest in something that I don't have to, that when I get older, I don't have to worry about paying rent, because that's gonna save me $1,000 no matter what. And you guys do whatever you want to do in the stock market. So yeah, that's just how I feel. Let me see. How much does a condo cost? All right. Now, the apartment, like I said, the apartments I showed you were I don't know, maybe a condo. So it's kind of like an apartment. It has security. I wouldn't buy anywhere without, like I said, without security in the top area, because I'm not there all the time. So, and I'm gonna put cameras in my apartments. Mine is the bedroom and the bathroom. Those places I'm not. But outside, I'm putting cameras in my apartments. But the first one was let me go to it so I talk to it while I'm saying. The first one was $55,000. This is the asking price. This is not what you're gonna buy it for. You're gonna definitely buy it for less than that, maybe 10 to 15%, especially because of the situation here, maybe 10 to 15%. And the second one I was seeing was in Cartagena, because these are two places out. Medellin, I'm not really I haven't been there yet. I haven't been there, to be honest, but I'm still more of a fan of a warmer weather, and I know I can get a better price. So these two places, this is 61 they're asking for, and this is 55 they're asking for. But that's not the price. That's just that's not the price they're gonna probably take. That's just the starting price. It's the same as everything else. All right. So how much would you charge a month if I own a property in Cartagena? See, right now, Dre, right now, the property that I showed you in Cartagena, Ray, I want to talk about it at the same time I show it. Right here, in the title, in the description right here, which is in Spanish, you're not going to be able to read, but they make $40 a night. And that's just at the rate it is now. The rate it is now, they make $40 a night with the tourism. I don't think it's going to be the same way in the future because of the whole down in tourism. So I'm going to say maybe if I cut it in half, it's $20 a night. But that don't even make a difference to me, because the reason I'm buying this property is not really to Airbnb it as an investment, but rather to protect my ability to live somewhere without having to pay money when I get older. You know what I mean? Like, to live somewhere without having to have to worry about the Airbnb raising the prices, or to be able to go somewhere if there's another, or when, not if, but when there's another pandemic and they want to have everything locked down. I don't know about everybody else, but I live in New Jersey. Locked down in New Jersey, we ain't going to no beach, nothing like that. But a lockdown in Colombia seems a lot more fun and better. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how much it charges. See, hey, this virus thing got me bugging. I gotta get out of here, bro. Listen, man, it got everybody bugging, but there's nothing. This is why you don't. This virus should be teaching people a lesson. As anything, it should be teaching you that don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's not saying don't believe in America, because I believe in America to the core, United States to the core. I believe that we will always be the United States, if you know what I mean. But I do believe if you put all your eggs in one basket, you're gonna be sorry, no matter what you do. And I think right now that's what all of us do. We put all it's the same thing with working. You know what I mean? If you put all your eggs into working and you have no investments, when they stop you from working, you stuck. If you only have investments and you don't work, then when your investments go numb, you're stuck. Everything to me is about balance. So you have to be able to balance everything out. So you want to take this time to either learn a trade, learn how to do YouTube, learn how to make money online that doesn't cost you money. Do something where you can keep working, and at the same token, you want to be able to have another stream of income, because the more multiple streams of income you have, the more different options you have to go, whether it's DR, Colombia, Brazil. When something happens in America, the less stress you're gonna have, the more happy you're gonna be. It's my opinion. Always save your money, bruh. It's so many things right now that people who always say stuff like we said, they're just not going by it right now. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's like the whole world changed. The economy's doing bad. The stock market is doing amazing. The the people that are wealthy are saying, oh, you know, this is only a temporary thing. The people at the bottom are struggling. They can't work. They can't eat. They got to survive off a $1,200 check. And somewhere like in Virginia or South Carolina or Kentucky, $1,200 is a lot. People are getting paid more money to stay home than they were getting at their job in a lot of America. But over here on the East Coast, it's a whole different stuff. The stuff they're giving us, it ain't helping at all for nobody, man. It's and so it's hitting us more, and we're able to show that. I love that movie. I forgot what movie we was talking about here. I see. GA 1250 and 1375, 2 rented properties. Is that how much you charge, or is what? That is probably how much you charge. What's your what's your profit? What's your profit? Like, what do you, if you don't mind saying it, what's the profit that you bring back after you pay all your expenses? Real estate is a smart move, but you definitely need to, I think you need to have cash on hand, because right now people are not paying them. Oh yeah. See that? Of course. You see, that's 100%. Oh wow, there's more comments. That's 100%. You definitely want to have cash on hand. You don't want to put all your cash into one asset. That's why I said, you know, the Montclair thing, I'm definitely doing. As soon as I find a deal in Montclair, I'm definitely doing that. But the Columbia thing, that's going to be the next. I don't know if it's going to be right after Montclair, because that depends on how much I have to spend on Montclair. If I have to spend like $40,000 on Montclair, then the Columbia thing's going to have to wait maybe another 2 years, or maybe another year. But if I can get away with trying to get into a place in Montclair and only spending like $30,000, then that Columbia thing, I might just, you know, I might over leverage myself, and just not over leverage myself, just up a leverage, not even over, but just leverage a little bit more of maybe my my HELOC or something to get that property paid. Because here's the thing: once I have those all in place, then it's all about paying the last bit of bills off, and then just investing everywhere. So I definitely believe that you don't want to spend all your cash, but if you get it, you know, deal or something, you know what I mean? Need. Oh yeah, I got you. Some people are not paying rent. Yeah, I have great renters too, man. Like, here's the thing: with my homes, I'm from the hood. I said it, but I'm from the hood, man. I'm from North New Jersey, man. I'm from 90s North New Jersey. I'm not from this new stuff. I'm from a place where gang banging, the crack epidemic, all that stuff. So I always remember having landlords that like try to charge us top dollar for everything. And they didn't want to fix nothing. So when I became a landlord, I said, I'm not going to be like that. None of my tenants that I have in any of my houses pay what the rent is supposed to be. Like, the rent in my houses, in both of my houses in the 2 cities I live in, for each apartment, is supposed to be at least $200 more than what people were paying. At least $200. The area let's say that the area where my house is at, people were paying like $1,800, right? I would charge my tenants like $1,600. Why? Because you get better tenants that way. And I have great tenants. You know what I mean? If they have an issue, they let me know, and I get it handled right away. And it's better to have quality tenants than to make the top dollar. And I learned that from my first property. So yeah, like I'm blessed to, well, I'm not really religious, but I'm grateful that I'm able to get through this situation because of the decisions I made. Costa Rica, yes. Costa Rica is another great spot. And see, Costa Rica is more like I said, if this is your first time, make sure you like and subscribe. But if this is the first time you guys ever watch my channel or ever see me do anything, you gotta watch the videos, because I've been to like 13, 14, 15, 16 different countries. I don't know. I've been like 15, 16 different countries, and I've really been where I didn't go as a budgeter. I went there as a broke person. I went there spending money like a regular person, like a middle-class person. But Costa Rica is very expat-y. Right now, Costa Rica is expensive, more expensive than other Latin countries, because Costa Rica has a lot of United States citizens that own property there. I mean, they own real property. So I think it'll still come down because the tourism is taken out. But I also think that it's going to be a while before Costa Rica comes down to a price where it's like a discount. It'll come price down to a price where it's good, a good deal if you like Costa Rica, because it's not that different from United States, New York, or something like that. But I think it's going to take longer than what Medellin or Dominican Republic or Brazil, like those three places. I think Dominican Republic first. Dominican Republic houses, they're going to start selling extra apartments and houses. They're going to start selling extra cheap. Like this is going to be the first one. That might not even make it to September before it get crazy. Then it's going to be Colombia. And then it's going to be then it's going to be Colombia. And then it's going to be Brazil. And that's the order where I think, just because I don't know about Thailand, I don't know about that yet, so I can't really speak too much on it. But those three countries, that's the order before the prices start coming. That the price is going to come down. So yeah, It's a Wonderful Life. Oh. I haven't watched that movie. I saw the clip when I was looking for stuff about the depression and trying to see clips about the depression and people going to the bank, and I was like, dang, this looks like it's gonna be cool. But I haven't watched that movie. I know a lot of women like watching black and white movies and stuff. I just paper. Oh, okay. Oh, that's dope, man. Yo, that's earn money. That's extra dope, bro. Like to have two properties and own them full and get that much income, that's dope. I would, if I were you, and I mean, just my opinion, if I were you, I would try to get a third property and just leave it at that. Do 3 properties and then 1 out of the country. The reason why I would say that is because 3 properties, it's like it's like a triple play. 1 goes down, you still got 2 that's going to cover that. If 2 go down, you still got 1 that's helping you survive. But if you got 2 properties and both go down, and it's like, you know what I mean? But plus, you know, you got a little equity that you can go get something. That's what I would do. But I mean, the two fully paid off is still great too, because you only have taxes. You don't have to worry about stressing out about not paying or something like that. So, I mean, either way is good. I would prefer having 3 and 1. Let me see. Why am I still? It's like 1 hour. I got 41 people. If you guys hit the like button, that'll help. I mean, I appreciate you guys being here after an hour, because I did not plan to go this long. I didn't even think it would go this long. But okay. Let's see. That's a fact. I've never raised the rent and the duplex, and the tenants stay forever. Yo, listen. You know, man, I hate to say it, man, but I just like to say it. But yo, I don't raise rents either, man. And you know, I don't raise rents. It just doesn't. It for me, it's like I know that I can make this much money. So, and yes, taxes go up. But if I got to take $100, $30 or $50 hit, it doesn't matter because I'm living free. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, I'll take a hit just to keep quality tenants, or to you know, something like that, where I don't ever raise the rent, because you I smashed the like button. I can figure I can dig it. But yeah, I don't ever raise the rent, man. Yo, thanks, Travel Squad. Thanks, man. But the most important thing is that I think that everybody, I'm gonna end this like in the next 2 minutes. But the most important thing I'm just trying to get across throughout this financial thing is that you guys, it's going to be some real pain that comes. And I hear every investor, I watch a lot of CNBC, I watch a lot of Bloomberg TV, I listen to Bloomberg Radio, I watch YouTube Finance. Listen, I watch a lot of stuff. And everyone, and you know, not to say everyone, but a lot of people understand that this is the tip of the iceberg. You know, I live in New York, so I see what the poverty that people are really going through because of this. Maybe the people at the top, they live places where they don't see people struggling as much, but I see the people struggling. And eventually, as this struggle moves into the suburban areas, and this struggle moves into Midtown and all them places where all the wealthy people live, it's going to become a different type of thing. Now, you know it's bad when you see people out in West Virginia or stuff like that going out rioting or running into the Capitol with guns because they feel like they're trapped in the lockdown. So you got to understand, this is going to get bad. And if we have another hit with the corona virus in September, where a second wave comes, man, listen, like I'm 35, so I'm not even concerned about it really. And you know, this is my opinion. I mean, I see what they're doing in Switzerland where nobody's ever wearing masks, and you know, it's cool. But yeah, I definitely would right now be focusing on getting getting some property, man. And the most important thing, I got 1 minute left. Oh, I do 1 minute more. Take the money out if you can. Take the money out of your 401k, man. Take the money out of your 401k and just let it sit, because if it gets to a point where they don't let you take that money out and you just sitting there knowing you got 30, 40, $50,000 in your 401k, because you can take up to 100,000 out without penalty, you might want to do that and just let it sit in your savings until you find a place to buy or something like that, because it's going to get real nasty, man. It's going to get real nasty. OW, what up, man? OW, what up? Oh, shoot. Dan Burton, you can move some of your 401k to a fixed annuity so it won't decrease. Yes, you can, but that money is better invested to me in real estate, because real estate, no matter if it, oh, my fault, cash producing real estate, because cash producing real estate is the only thing that you can touch, a physical thing you could touch that's going to go up and down in price regardless, but it's still going to give you cash flow. And I think that's better than a fixed annuity, which it won't go down, but what does it help you? What does it benefit you if you have 41k in a fixed annuity and you can't touch it because and you're broke and you're struggling, and all you can do is just sit and look at the 41k like, oh, all these deals are for sale, everybody's going into foreclosure, everybody is losing money, and I can't do nothing because my money is stuck in the annuity. Yeah, nah. I want my money on the side and ready to move, ready to pounce. I rent 2 homes, live in the 3rd home. Oh, so okay. Oh, earn money's already in. I rent 2 homes and live in the 3rd home. The first 2 pay for the 3rd, and I pay double note for that home to pay it off early. Okay, that's a good thing. And plus, you still 43, I think you said. So if you can get all that done by 50, bro, and then 50, you can just have 3 homes flat paid out and that property thing over, man. Listen, that's perfect. I plan on retiring at 40. I plan on retiring at 45 or 50. Like, I'll have enough income, even with just the houses I have now. I'll have enough income, passive income coming in to retire at the age of 50. And I've been at my job for 25. I would have been at my job for 25 years. So whenever the pension comes in, that'll be extra money. But I don't plan on retiring until 50. Because my son is not 18 yet. He'll be 18 by the time I'm 50, something like that. So I kind of want to stay here until he's at least 17 before I start going back into Columbia and going back and forth from Columbia to New Jersey for 6 months or 5 months at a time. Because I like seeing my kids. My son, my daughter, she's 12 already, so she'll be in college by then, or out of college. Yeah, OW, what up, bro? What up? Roll the tape. What's going on, my bro? Roll the goddamn tape. Roll the goddamn tape. All right, Travel Squad. Let me see. My plan was to rent my property in the U.S. and let that fund my life abroad. Okay, that's great. A property abroad is a good idea. Once I find a country I don't mind staying in for 5 months consecutive. That is the awesome strategy. The one thing I would add to your strategy, though, on travel is you would maybe want to have a place that you can stay in the States as well. Even though like you have you renting out the property in the United States, you kind of want a place to stay in the States. Like, even if you can get like an apartment paid off all the way, and somewhere where it's inexpensive that you feel comfortable with, like South Carolina or something like that, you want to have a place that you can come through that's not costing you anything but maybe like $500 a month or $400 a month in the States. Because I'm not a big firm believer in just moving to another country. I believe that you should move to other countries, but always have a backdrop or a backstopper in the United States to always be able to come back at any point in time. The same thing in the United States, always be able to go to another country at a time. Oh, Dub, he said he tracked me. Oh man, true. Big D. I'm trying to get all these questions. I've been trying to end this live for the longest, but everybody keeps asking questions. So let me. OW, bro. Okay, Big D. Roll the tape. What it do? Wow, awesome, TheFlyBoyWay. Thanks, Tia, man. I love seeing people succeed, and I love seeing all people succeed. Black, white, Asian, rich, poor. I like seeing all people succeed, man. I think it's enough out here for everybody, man. You just got to see the world. You got to see. You can't have if you only have a focus on the United States, then you're not going to think it's enough to spread around. But if you know the world, for us in the United States, it's enough out here for everybody. It's enough out here for everybody. All right, Mark, he said I'm 40 now. I'm 40 now, so I'm going to retire at 50 with 27-year pension. That's great. But I will have 2 homes paid off. Yes, I will have 2 homes paid off and 2 small mortgages. Wow, that's 4 homes. That's 4 homes. It's a bad man right here. I'm going to keep the wife working. Yo, man, this guy's a savage, man. This guy is a savage, bruh. Let me read this again. My fault, y'all. Let me read this again. Man, I just gonna drink. Hold on a second. I don't know. I got water in here. Y'all do. Hold on. Okay. Let me read this again. I'm 40 now, so I'm going to retire at 50 with 27-year pension. That's what I'm talking about. Multiple streams. Multiple streams will always help you win. That part. But I will have 2 homes paid off and 2 small mortgages, which means he has 4 homes and a 27-year pension. Multiple streams of income. This part is the killer, though. I'm going to keep the wife working until 55-ish. My pimp hand strong. Bruh. Yo, that is nuts. That is nuts, bruh. That is nuts. All right. So we're getting the questions are getting over, so I'm gonna get right into it. What are your thoughts about multifamily units? That's what I think multifamily unit. All right. I think multifamily units are the way. I think that's the way to weather the pandemic. Pandemic proof retirement comes with multifamily units as well as streams of income like 27-year pension, like if you do dibble dabble a little bit in dividends and stuff like that. That's the way of pandemic proofing your retirement. So I own 2 houses and they're both multifamily. Now you can also do it with single families. If you have a little bit more control and you don't stress that much, you can also do it with single family property because you can have renters in your single family and they could be paying you rent and it'll work almost the same way. The only issue I have with single family is that if you have a single family house that's not paid off and that one tenant leaves, now you have no income coming from that property. With multifamily, if you have multifamily paid off or you have multifamily and you have a loan and you have 2 tenants paying, if one of them leaves, you still got income coming from the house. So I would suggest doing multifamily over doing a single family, but either one, depending on if you own the whole thing or if you have a loan, either one is pretty good for multiple streams. Oh yeah, so I said the problem with the 401k is that it went down. So taking the money out will be a loss. Oh no, I already took that loss. Waiting a few years before I can pull out. Yeah, here's the thing. This is correct. The problem with the 401k is that it went down. So taking the money out would be a loss. Yes, correct. Waiting for a few years before I can pull out. Pause. You are supposed to invest when down and pull out when it's up. This is correct. For me, though, however, I believe that my senses, based on watching how everybody is moving, not what they're saying, but how people are moving, is that the stock market is going to be down for an extended period of time. I mean, extended period of time, like maybe 5 to 10 years before it gets back to the levels that we just had. So in that 5 to 10 years, I feel as though I can take the money that I have now invested with the hit that I took. I think I took like $5,000. Yeah, I had. So I think I took about like a $7,000 hit in just that month of March. I took like a $7,000 hit, and then it went down and then went up. And as soon as it went back up, like it didn't go all the way up, but like a couple weeks ago, it went up at one point. Or a couple weeks ago, it went up at one point, and then boom, I say, yo, take it out. Put it. I'm still waiting for it to come to my account, but I said, yo, take it out. I'm ready to bust a move there because I feel as though I can do more because of my knowledge of real estate, and I feel as though I can do more with doing that money myself than it's going to do in the next 5 or 10 years in the stock market. So at this point, yeah, I can understand what you're saying, but I'd rather just take that hit because I had a great team. Anybody that invested in 401k or stock market had a great past 10 years. They had an amazing 10, 11 years run. This is the biggest run they said they ever had. So they had an amazing run. I'm ready. I know when to hold them and when to fold them. I'm not one of the people that be up in the on a crap table, still rolling dice, or on a blackjack table, still putting money because I'm losing money. I know I lost my money. I'm still up, and I'm up a lot. I'll take my money up, put it in my pocket, and walk out that door. I'm not trying to get that money back I lost. The area of the country that approaches multifamily. I'm gonna always say where I live because that's all I know. I mean, I have familiarized myself through Bigger Pockets with biggerpockets.com. Definitely helped me out a lot. But and it's not an affiliated link. It's just what helped me out. But I think where I live, you get the most bang for your buck because rents are higher in where I live. Rents are high also in California, but in New Jersey, rents are high, but the property, if you buy a fixer upper, you can buy it for real low. So I think New Jersey, if you know the area, is probably the best that you can invest in. But if you just want to get some inexpensive property and make a little bit more money, make a little money, but at a little less risk, then I think maybe North Carolina or Florida, if you know the area, you can buy some property for a lot less, and maybe like 30,000-40,000, you can get a property and you probably make, probably put 10,000 to fix it. So you pay, or if you're 50,000 all in, you may make like $700 rent, but that's all coming to your pocket. So yeah. Yes, I did a hardship withdrawal because right now, Jess Setter Mac, if you do a hardship withdrawal because of the CARES Act that Donald Trump passed, you don't have to pay, and because normally you have to wait till you're 55 at least to take out the money. But because of the CARES Act and what they did with this last law they passed when we got that $1,200, you're able to take it out without penalty, and you have 3 years to pay the taxes. So you don't even have to pay the taxes for 3 years, but you take it out and pay 3 taxes for the years. Now, that's what I did. You know what I mean? I think that's the best way to do it because you could take up to $100,000. I don't have $100,000, but you can take up to $100,000 out as a hardship withdrawal without any penalty, just having to pay the tax after 3 years. So yeah, that's what I did. You have faith in America? Yeah, I do. I have faith in the United States. I'm still short a lot. I almost cried when the S&P was at 240. Yo, bro. See, I know, bro. I didn't even look at my account. I knew how much I had in my account at the beginning of the year because the quarterly thing. I knew how much I had in my account at the beginning of the year, and then I knew how much I had when I started thinking about doing a withdrawal. And I said, "Yo, I've lost like $7,000 in a month." Oh no. You're not gonna get me on this, hoping that it go up, hoping that it go down, hoping that it go up. No. You're not gonna get me on this because even if I leave that money, if I just left the money in there, right, and hope that it came back, it may take 15 years to come back. I'm retiring in less than 15 in 15 years. So let's say when I retire, it came back, right? Then I would just have the money I had. Let me just say them. I would only have like $70,000 or $76,000 in my account. But if I take the money that I lost in it and I go out and buy a plate or 70,000, listen, man, it just didn't make any sense. It didn't even make any sense because I'm gonna have the same amount in 15 years as I had before I lost 7,000 and some change. So it didn't make no sense to just leave it in there and watch the market go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then it's not going to pass where I lost. Just let me take it out because I can use that money to make more money through real estate than if I just let it go up, down in the stock market. Keep that. The best area to invest is the area you know well. Yes, you see what I said, Mark? I said that's why I said New Jersey because I know it well. Oh wow, damn, Tia. Now rent is the. Sometimes I've been watching. Like I said, I watch a lot of news. and with just basic economy news, not really like coronavirus, but economy news. And yes, bro, I've seen some places in California, people paying $3,000 for a 2-bedroom. I said, wait, what? $3,000? What? New York ain't got prices like that. So, what's the best source for buy property besides MLS? All right, now, for property, the MLS is the only place I use, and because I don't do the off. You can do off market stuff where you send out stuff, and you can send out brochures, say I want to buy a house and all that stuff. But come on, I do a lot of other stuff. I ain't got time for that. So I use Realtor.com. I use here's a sneak one people don't know about. I use HomePath.com. I use Realtor.com. I use Zillow.com, and I just started using like Redfin.com. Here's the thing, roller tape. As a home owner or occupier, a home person occupier, you have first advantage on REO properties. Where REO properties are bank-owned properties. Properties that are bought back by the bank after foreclosure, you have the first right before any investor if you tell them you're going to live there. So basically what I do and what I did for my houses that I have now is I was able to get the houses because I lived here for a year. So when, even though there was investors with way more money than I had when I bought this house, I had the right because I was living here for a year. And most banks, because of the government programs, they have to offer people who are going to live there, owner occupants, the right to buy the house before anybody else, as long as they paying the amount that the bank is asking for. So that's how I did it, and that's how I beat out other investors on the MLS. And you can do the same, man. You can definitely do the same. 59.5 to take out, but mine's actually 45.7B, so I can get it 50. Okay. You know what I mean? I think it's 55 to take out. Oh no, 59.5 to take out full. Okay. I think you can take out half at 55. I could be wrong, but I think you can take out half your money at 55, but you get penalized. But at 60 or 65, you can take full out depending on something. But there are factors to consider before rushing to tap into your retirement funds. Hold on. Yes, like I said, that's why I tell people I'm not a financial advisor. So I'm not a lawyer or anything. So I tell you, do all your research before you go and do it. But for my Vanguard, retirement fund that I have under my 401k, the only tax implication is that I had to pay taxes on the federal within after the 3 years up of me borrowing it, and the money that I borrowed has to go. I have to put to my taxes, but I write that money off on my taxes. You can spread it out over 3 years. So basically, let's say you borrow $40,000. Let's say you took out $40,000. You would have, at the end of that 3 year span, you would have to pay taxes on that $40,000, which is like $9,000. But you could also pay a little bit of taxes each year. So you can split it up to 15. Add 15 the first year, 15 the second year, 10 the third year. So it equals 40,000. You can pay like that during the year, because what you want to kind of do is pay the taxes off on the first year all at once, because you got to realize taxes are always going to go up. So if you wait to that third year, you're kind of going to pay more taxes than if you just paid it all off the first year. But if you have real estate, you can pretty much write all of that off. So yeah, if you know what you're doing, you can write all of the money that you put as a hardship off, because you got hardships. Let me see. Not a bad plan. Real estate opportunities will be good for the next 2 years. Like I said, for the next 6 months, it's going to be a lot of. It's not going to be a lot of properties on the market, but it's going to be a lot of people that can't afford. I mean, that can't qualify to finance for those properties. So if you're still working, essential employees, and you have that 401k, even though it's not a lot of properties on the market, because there's not a lot of buyers, you're going to be pretty good. But if you're lucky enough, if you're not lucky enough to get one in that span, if you wait till December, October, November, December, January, the price is going to start. That's when foreclosures and stuff are going to happen, because foreclosures usually start in 4 to 6 months. That's when stuff is going to start happening. So if you can't get something in this next 2 months, I suggest just wait until December or January. You're going to definitely have a lot of stuff to get. You're going to definitely, even if they fix the economy, even if they find a cure. People don't understand this. If they find a cure, it's not going to, even if they push it through, because even with that Rendizimir or whatever it is, that's like not a cure, but it helps you stop the fatal stuff. Even with that, it's going to take at least 6 to 8 months before that is ready to be mass produced and printed out. So you're talking about we're still going to be going through this until at least next year. Every station that you go to is going to tell you the same thing. It's not just me. Every news station, we're going to be going through this until next year at least. So you got to understand, it's going to be a point where people just ain't got the money and they're going to be trying to get out. And now, I've never heard of this in my life until this point right here. But now Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are buying houses back from people. I've never heard of this. I've been like, my grandfather did real estate. I didn't have a father, and my mother, she's been in and out of the mental institution. But my grandfather did real estate, and even when he was trying to teach, I've never heard of Freddie and Fannie Mac buying houses back. That's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like they went into foreclosure. No, they're just saying, hey, you're behind this many months. I don't think you can come up with it. We'll just buy it back, and don't worry about nothing. Never heard of nothing like that. So who knows what's up with what's going to happen, man. And I'm just trying to tell everybody, get your war chest ready, get that money ready, like do whatever you got to do to get that cash ready, man. Can I find a fix up house for 1,500? Not in New Jersey. Not in the tri-state area. Maybe in the Dominican Republic, maybe in Colombia. Maybe I don't know if is anybody in the room that knows where you could buy a fixed up house for 1,500. I don't know anyone that's for 1,500, and it's not gonna be enough in Jersey. So I'm sure you can, but just not. It's gonna be in one of them very rural towns, like Albuquerque or something like that. I don't know. Mike Harris, what's going on, man? What's going on? All right, here's under the CARES Act. You can take. Yes, I actually you can take it for 400. Yes, I actually I had that up here too. I just didn't there you go. I didn't show you guys, but he broke it down in simpler terms. If you don't feel like reading all this behind here, under the CARES Act, you can take out the 401k loan up to 100,000, or if lower, 100% of the vested account balance, right, in the next 6 months, right. And here's the thing, I owed 15,000 on my loan already because I had took money out to buy the house that I have now and fix it up. I owed 15,000. That part didn't even matter. The other part that was available, they allowed me to take that part out. So even though I had a loan already, and a lot of people will be like, oh man, but I already borrowed from my 401k. No, even if you borrow from your, and I have Vanguard. Vanguard is probably one of the top 401k places. So even though I had $15,000 out already, I still was able to borrow the rest of the money that the company matched had, plus whatever else I had left. So yeah, like it was dope. Let me see. I may end up with more than 4 properties if my plan goes well. I look for recently sold properties under value and offer them 20% profit, still under value. Some people, that's actually pretty cool. That's a pretty cool concept. Yeah, that's basically that's like direct marketing. I personally don't do that. I don't got the time, and I like to I don't really take other people's deals because I like to run the numbers myself to make sure I'm fine with it. But yeah, that's actually that's a very unique way of doing stuff. I never thought of that. I've never thought of that. Oh man. And for me, the reason why I say 4 properties is because life is about balance. I keep telling people it's about balance. I don't want to stress over having a bunch more properties I have to look at. Like I have 2 tenants in this property. I have 2 tenants in my other property. I know my tenants. I'm actually I see them and I talk to them and stuff like that. So I feel more comfortable with having tenants that I'm able to hands on will understand. So if they do go through something and I can afford to like give them some time to get right, then I can do it. Versus just having a bunch of tenants all over the place and I don't know nobody. It's just nah. I like you, not one of the YouTubers for begging donations. Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't take donations. I try to tell people I don't take super chats. I don't take donations. The only thing I ask you to do is hit the like button, hit the share button, share it with somebody you know. That's it, man. Just share the message because I'm here for the message. I get money from YouTube. It's not a lot, but it's something. I just do this because I didn't have this growing up, and I want people to have this. I want people to, go out and have this, man. I can't stand when YouTubers do that. Okay. Hey, Love Crossing Borders, what's going on, Dre? Andre. Make sure you guys check out their channel, man. This is a very good. This is like what I'm talking about now, stuff like this. This is kind of what they do on their channel as far as they travel but they're in Cali, Colombia. They both live in Cali, Colombia. They getting property out there and they do stuff out there with businesses and stuff, and they can get down with a lot of information. So make sure you guys subscribe to Love Crossing Borders. It's definitely a good channel to check out on, man. T, if you can't afford to travel on your dime, don't do it. Like I said, to each his own. For me, I don't knock travelers that ask for money, because everybody is their own person. I think that it's better to have people that's all different because then you get different experiences, and the more experience you have, the more options you have, the less you feel like there's no other way for you. And I just try to show a different way. You know what I mean, the Flyboy way. Jet setter. I don't earn money. I don't know that part. Jet setter. You have to be careful with tenants. They can send you under. Yeah, you're right. I go through a broker. The good thing about Jersey is the tenants pay a broker fee. No. That's another thing too. Yeah. When I found my tenants, all my tenants, I went through a realtor. For all my tenants, I went through a realtor. But I met them personally. But I went through a realtor because they do all the background check. I don't have time. I work 9 hours a day. Plus I got kids. Plus I do YouTube, a lot. Plus I do a lot of stuff, so I don't have time to really do the background checks and do all that stuff. And so whenever I get investment out, I got my realtor to do it. You can't afford to. If I can't afford to buy things from the store, I won't do it. I'm here to learn. Yeah, I've been listen. Love Crossing Borders. I've been trying to end this. End this. I got 53 people in here. I don't even know how 50 people stay this long, but I've been trying to end this this live cast for the longest, and I was just trying to get to the end of the questions, man. I've been trying to get to the end of the questions so I can end it. But everybody, you can go back. I appreciate everybody being here. Hold up, bro as man, where is it? So oh man, that's true. Diversity is good. All right. I just want to thank everybody for coming, man. It's been an hour 38 minutes. This is only supposed to last 30 minutes. I don't know how to last an hour and 30 minutes, but I hope that everybody hit the like. I hope you was able to learn something through this, and I hope that you guys are really thinking about doing something to build your income throughout the storm. I hope everybody's healthy. Have the health is, like I said, one of the most important things. But you still want to keep your income right. I'll end it how I started it with the video I was playing from The Wonderful World. 53 says 53 stay because thanks, man. I watched from the beginning. Stay up, bro. All right, I'm gonna end it with this right here. Like I said, I'm taking money out of my 401k so I can invest in property. I show Love Crossing Borders. When you go back and watch it, you'll see the properties I showed in Cartagena and the property I showed in Barranquilla because the prices are going to drop 10 to 15% in the next year because of the situation, man. Thanks for everybody coming. Karan, what up, man? Penny Stock Investor, Elvis. And I'm going to end it with this video right here that we started it off with. So let me go to this video so that you guys can understand how it could be. Now, I'm not a psychic, but I watch people. The smart people learn from their mistakes. Smarter people learn from the mistakes of others.
Don't look now, but there's something funny going on over there at the bank, George. I've never really seen one, but that's got all the earmarks of being a run.
Now, just remember that this thing isn't as black as it appeared. I have some news for you, folks. I was just talking to old man Potter, and he's guaranteed cash payments to the bank. The bank's going to reopen next week.
But George, I got my money here. Did he guarantee this place?
Well, no, Charlie, I didn't even ask him. We don't need Potter over here.
I'll take mine now.
No, but you're thinking of this place all wrong, as if I had the money back in a safe. The money's not here.
It's your boy FRE$H Fresh at the TheFlyBoyWay. That's TheFlyBoyway. Don't ask why. Just check out the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.